Great Vatican Roma of the late 1940s, a 14-year-old boy named Roland Doe, a pseudonym, began experiencing strange and increasingly disturbing phenomena. Furniture moved on its own, objects levitated, and unexplained scratches appeared on his body. Despite numerous medical and psychiatric treatments, his symptoms persisted and worsened over time, prompting his family to turn to the Catholic Church for assistance, hoping that the power of faith and prayer could help their son. But they were wrong. Father William Bowden, a Jesuit priest. Father Bowden and several other priests decided to perform the exorcism in a private home in St. Louis, Missouri. The priests did not perform the exorcism in a church as they wanted to avoid attracting too much attention. When Father Bowden arrived at the home, he immediately noticed that there was something wrong with Roland. The boy was quiet and withdrawn, and he seemed to be in a trance-like state. The priests attempted to speak with Roland, but he did not respond. The exorcism began, and the priests began reciting prayers and religious texts. The room was shrouded in darkness, with only the faintest hint of light filtering in from the hallway. The air was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the faint sound of the boy's labored breathing. As the priests approached the bed, they were struck by the sight that greeted them. Roland Doe lay there, his body writhing and contorting in ways that seemed impossible for a human being. The boy's eyes were fixed on the ceiling, unblinking and vacant. His arms and legs flailed wildly, thrashing against the sheets as if trying to escape some unseen force. As they drew closer to the bed, they could hear the boy muttering in a language that they did not understand. The words were guttural and menacing, sending chills down their spines. They could see the fear and desperation in the boy's eyes, and they knew that they had to act quickly to help him. As the priest keeps praying around Roland's bed, they could feel their faith waning as they struggled against the demonic presence within him. Yet, they knew they had to continue, even as they watched in horror as his body continued to convulse. But the demon was relentless, fighting back with supernatural strength that left the priest and his assistants battered and bruised. They were thrown across the room, and objects flew through the air, narrowly missing them. With every passing moment, the intensity of the battle between good and evil escalated. The priest's fervent prayers and holy water were no match for the demon's malevolent power, but he refused to give up hope and continued to fight with all his might. As the days stretched into weeks, the priest's determination to rid Roland Doe of the evil that possessed him only grew stronger, despite their bodies and minds being worn down to the brink of exhaustion. But then, something miraculous happened. Roland let out a shattering scream, and suddenly the demonic force was expelled from his body as if it had never been there. It was a moment of triumph that left the priest stunned and speechless, their minds struggling to comprehend the enormity of what had just occurred. Then, as the realization of what had just happened sank in, the room erupted in a cacophony of cheers and tears of relief. The priests hugged each other tightly, their faces etched with both exhaustion and unbridled joy. In that moment, They knew that they had witnessed something truly extraordinary. A battle against the forces of darkness that had been won by the power of faith and determination. It was a moment that would forever be etched into their memories, a reminder of the strength of the human spirit and will. After the exorcism, Roland Doe's identity was never disclosed, and his files were kept confidentially in the Vatican archives. No one knows what happened to him after the exorcism or whether he is still alive. The story of Roland Doe's possession and exorcism is one that continues to haunt and terrify those who hear it. It is a stark reminder of the darkness that lurks in the shadows and the courage that is required to face it.